Start to see low pressure come in from the east on Friday with rain. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double-stack junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Have you ever heard of the yips? What about the twisties? Join me, Justin Sua, for Losing Control, a new podcast about one of the strangest phenomena in sports, the yips, or when an athlete or elite performer suddenly finds themselves unable to do the thing that they do better than almost everyone else on the planet. That's Losing Control, a new podcast from Sports Illustrated Studios and iHeartRadio. Listen to Losing Control on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
By now, you know how regenerative medicine is amazingly effective at treating joint pain. QC Kinetics has helped thousands of people get their life back pain-free. They're now using the same regenerative protocols to restore thinning hair for men and women with astonishing results. It's hair restoration without surgery. Natural biologic treatments that can restore aging hair follicles, giving you thicker, fuller hair. Regenerative medicine is such a breakthrough, it uses your own body's powerful growth and healing agents, highly concentrated and applied directly to the affected area. No drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. So if you're losing your hair due to aging, pattern baldness, or a medical condition, call now to learn more about exciting natural biologic treatments that can stimulate those dormant hair follicles. Get it growing naturally again. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-973-3098 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-973-3098. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-3098 now to secure your new Morgan Silver Dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-3098.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words, but when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. Enjoy $1 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/delivery info.
Hey, I'm Kyle Pitts. With Old Spice Dry Spray, you can smell ready for anything. Right, Michael Parsons?
Yep, and right now, I smell ready for a pick six.
I smell ready for a touchdown.
I smell ready for a ball.
You do smell good.
Thanks, Kyle.
Get Old Spice Dry Spray with Walmart pickup.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. The Heat will be without starting point guard Kyle Lowry in a pivotal Game 5 against the 76ers tonight in that second-round NBA playoff series. He's out with a strained hamstring. After dropping the first two games, Phillies won the last two to tie the series up, with James Harden playing a major role in Game 4. But Harden doesn't have to put up 30 a game the rest of the way for the Sixers to have a chance in the series, says ESPN's Tim Legler.
Maybe they don't need him to be that every night. Just don't be horrific, right? Don't be 3 for 17 with 7 turnovers. Can't overcome that because you have the ball too much. Just be at no worse than solid, because then Maxey can be maybe really, really good to great on that night, in addition to what you kind of know what you're going to get with Embiid.
Tim Legler on Greene with Mike Greenberg. Game 5, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady will join Fox Sports as its lead NFL analyst after his playing career is over. The New York Post reports he'll receive a 10-year, $375 million deal from Fox, making it the richest contract in sports media history.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on to ESPNABL.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. You can hear the Sportsocracy everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. See us everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And when you subscribe, you can get into the chat. Have all of the fun with us today because there is one story that is sweeping across the landscape of sports media, and you know, Flostradamus Jeremy Greene, he cannot get away from Tom Brady.
He's like a canker sore. He never goes. He's literally going to be doing that. I will be long dead before he is at home just playing shuffleboard.
Yep. Tom Brady getting a massive contract from Fox Sports to be their number one lead analyst whenever he is done playing in the NFL.
Which means 1 year from now.
Probably so.
My favorite question that's been raised is what happens if the Bucks get bounced and Fox has the Super Bowl? That would be the greatest disaster in the history of time. Your first game ever is a Super Bowl.
Why would that be a disaster?
Oh, that would be a train wreck. The first game you've ever called ever is the Super Bowl. You see how stupid that sounds when you say it that way?
Tom Brady can do anything, right? We'll talk about that. We also will have some NBA playoff coverage for you. The Memphis Grizzlies failing to hold on to their lead last night against the Golden State Warriors. They now fall behind 3-1 in their series in the Western Conference semifinals. The Boston Celtics pull the upset last night and now tie the series with the Milwaukee Bucks 2-2. Good win on the road for the Celts. So we'll talk about those games coming up later on in the hour. And the 4 o'clock hour, we will be talking about what's to come in the NFL season. Jeremy, after the NFL draft, have you really changed your mind on many teams?
On a few. You basically have 48 hours. As soon as the schedule comes out, Vegas is going to get really bright as to how many games teams are going to win. So what we're going to do is go through the league. Your current line, is it right, is it low, or is it too high?
All right, over-unders as the NFL schedule release comes to us this Thursday. But first off, let's talk about it. Tom Brady, it came out this morning that he is going to get he is going to be the lead analyst for Fox's NFL coverage as soon as he retires. And then the contract dropped, and I think Jeremy's head exploded.
I felt my brain press against my skull, and I didn't like it, and I still don't like it.
10 years, $375 million is the contract for Tom Brady, which means he is going to be making $37.5 million a year. See how I did the math real quick in my head? That's that Buncombe County education.
Move the decimal point.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at you.
$37.5 million a year compared to the $18 million that the top two commentators in the NFL get right now, Tony Romo and Troy Aikman.
I don't, for the life of me, understand why you would pay an announcer this much money. I cannot wrap my brain around that to save my life. But I do have to go back to something I told you long ago when you said, oh, Greg Olson's a star in this business. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not, and Fox knows it. If he was, you would have known this long ago.
Of course.
And this is what happens when Troy goes to greener pastures and Roma won't come to you. We got to give $1 billion to a guy that may or may not be able to do this.
You have doubts. You have your doubts that Tom Brady is going to be able to do it.
There are only a handful of guys that I actually think are good at this in the world. I struggle to believe Tom Brady's going to be one of them.
Okay.
I really struggle to believe
it's
that.
It's not for lack of knowledge.
No,
obviously,
there are a lot of people
smartest.
that know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Where I fall in is I've never thought Tom Brady was exactly the most interesting human in the world. I mean, he's got a little bit of a personality.
He's got much more of a personality than he was ever allowed to show us when he was in New England.
And I don't dispute that.
Right.
And look, I never thought Peyton Manning would be great at this. Peyton Manning's great at what he does. I have a weird feeling this is going to be one of those things we look back on, and we're going to look at it in one of two ways. Either it was the greatest money drain in the history of creation, or he never actually calls a game.
Fun fact. Would you like to know how much Tom Brady has made during his playing career in the NFL?
Less than $375 million.
Less than $375 million. In his 23-year playing career now, he will have amassed $333 million total for what he's done on the field. And in one day, one stroke of the pen, he is now going to get $375 million over the next 10 years to be on Fox Sports. Now, I get it. I get that this is not a good idea. Typically, I'm the type of guy who goes, hey, wait, you've never had this job before? I don't think I'm going to pay you more than anybody's ever been paid to do it.
I have a question for our lovely viewing audience. Is there a job you would not do for $375 million? I pulled a list of the weirdest jobs.
Okay.
Dog food taster.
Let's do it.
I would live on a steady diet of dog food. And I'm talking that gnarly, you bought it at Dollar General dog food.
Oh, yeah.
Not the, you kept it in the fridge. You keep this in that weird cabinet with the onions that doesn't see the light of day. I'll eat that out of a can with a spoon for $375 million.
This is not the Purina brand even. This is the Luprina brand that comes from Guadalajara or something.
Snake milker. That's two words that are just really funny right beside each other. And I'm all the way in. I'm not really scared of snakes, which is weird because that's the animal everybody's afraid of, and I'm not.
Yeah, it is very weird. I don't think I want to milk one.
Aviary watchman. Don't care. Train pusher. Apparently in Japan there are people that actually have to push trains because they're offset a little bit.
Okay.
So they have to push them.
Just to get it going?
I think it's to get them from what I can tell, it's to get them from one track to the next. Because there's no way it will run off the tracks if you don't move it.
Gotcha. So train pusher, you would do that job.
I would do it literally if there was a job that involved somebody hitting me in the face with a wiffle ball bat every hour on the hour for the next 10 years.
Right. You couldn't create a job that I wouldn't do for $375 million over 10 years. Like I would eat gum off the bottom of park benches in New York City for 10 years for $375 million.
I don't like gum. I don't chew gum.
See,
I'm a mint guy.
But that makes
I have that thing where your jaw pops and it sounds like I'm noshing on a bag of wood screws. So trust me, nobody would want me to do that. I'm just dumbfounded. I'm like, how did this conversation even come about? Did Fox just look around and go, well, we don't have anybody else. There is nothing else that is going to move a needle in the least. So let's call Tom Brady.
Pretty much. The Fox Sports executives got in a room and they said, what is the biggest thing that we can do? What can we do? We have lost the best play-by-play guy in the game. We have lost the second best color analyst in the game. Talking about, of course, the tandem that is moving to Monday Night Football. And what can we do? Well, we could try a home run swing at the biggest name anyone has ever had in broadcasting. Because this is it.
Oh, without a doubt.
This is it. I mean, this is the NBA getting Michael Jordan to come in and join their broadcast crew.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious. Did they broach this and Brady said, I'm going to throw out a number so stupid that they just hang up immediately?
Mm-hmm.
He says it. Done.
In.
You actually think this is a good deal?
I think it's a good deal.
I think he's going to be a borderline disaster.
I don't think it's going to be a disaster at all. He has a great personality. And
you're using the word fine, strangely.
I didn't really like his personality, so to speak.
Can he get Brady drunk on a boat before he does all of these games? Because that would probably be worth watching. But weird Subway commercial Brady, yeah, I'm Seacrest out on that.
I think he is the biggest name that they would ever get. This is going to open the door to so many more opportunities for them in sponsorships. Because he's not just going to be doing the football. According to Andrew Marchand of the New York Post, he is also going to be a company ambassador, and he's also going to help in sponsorships and promotional activities. So that what I feel like this deal looks like is, okay, here's the deal, Tom. We're going to pay you $375 million over the next 10 years. Not only are you going to do the NFL, but we're going to come up with some other fun ways to use you. I will guarantee you there will be a TV series. There will be game show opportunities for Tom Brady.
Are you watching the Tom Brady game show?
There will be people that do.
I don't know. That's not what I asked.
Yes,
I asked,
will.
Of course you will.
Of course I will.
Of course you will.
Asking...
He's been the quarterback of your team for 9 minutes, and he's all of a sudden your bestest friend.
I will watch anything once as long as it's got a sports hook to it. Now, if it sucks, I'm not going to go back to it. But Tom Brady is the biggest celebrity they could ever have. So $37.5 million a year, I get is a lot of money, but you weren't gonna get another guy that can put you on par with the money making opportunity that Tom Brady can give you.
We have 2 super chats about this. First one from our resident Canadian and New England Patriots fan. Armchair commentary. It's all about eyeballs. Brady transcends football. People love him. People hate him. But almost everyone knows him.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. The only thing I'm going to say to that is, do you remember Dennis Miller? Yikes.
Yeah, but that's completely different.
I could see him being that bad. I could see him being that bad as a commentator. Dennis Miller is a brilliant human.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the smartest person that has ever commentated a football game in the history of the world.
Possibly.
But it didn't make him entertaining. And that's where I struggle with. All right, so think about who's really good at this.
It didn't make him relatable.
In large part, people hate Troy Aikman.
Mm-hmm.
He's still good at this.
Yeah.
But why is he good at this? Because he's somewhat relatable.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looks like he's been on a 9-day bender every time he comes. That's relatable. Tony Romo is so ridiculously smart just sitting here calling out plays. That works. He's not going to do that. Romo will. Fact or fiction? He cannot play the Tony Romo role.
I think he could.
Not as well as Romo.
No, probably not.
And that's the problem. You're going to be Diet Pepsi to Romo's Coke. It just doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
I just don't see the path where 3 years from now you're going to go, yeah, that was fun. Tyler Cunningham said, I don't want to see Tom's dentures for the next 5 years with the weird milkman voice.
His dentures.
Agreed. He has veneers. Well, which that's just another reason I hate him, because I want veneers and my nose fixed. I will say our new camera setup has really accentuated the fact that I look like the Seattle Seahawk.
Sort of has.
I didn't notice because it's sideways.
Right.
I noticed this when I watched the playback yesterday. Like, no wonder I hate the Seahawks so much. They look like my brother.
I don't know that he will be as good as Tony Romo. Does that mean Tony Romo's smarter than him at football? I don't think so. I think Tom Brady's probably one of the smartest quarterbacks, or probably the smartest quarterback that ever lived. What Tony Romo can do that I don't think Tom Brady can do, especially immediately, is be able to explain things succinctly, and he has a rhythm down. And it takes time to do that. It takes time to get into a broadcast rhythm.
I just feel like this is the Batman podcast of the NFL.
Explain that.
All right, so this week, Joe Rogan was not at the top of the Spotify rankings for the first time since, I think, the end of 2020 or something like that.
Okay.
He lost to the Batman podcast, and it's this spoken word graphic novel thing. You'll watch it once, and it will get annoying in a hurry. And that's how look, I understand why you did this. If you're Fox, you stole the narrative in the quietest time in all of sports. I get why you did it. I just don't think it's going to age the way they think it will. And look, I don't have a better solution. I don't have anybody else that I'm going, oh, yeah, he'll be great. Drew Brees and his weird fake hair.
No.
His spray can hair does nothing for me. So I get why you did it. I don't think it's going to age that well. When I saw the number, I swear to you, I thought I was having a stroke.
Right.
And then I went to Twitter to try to disprove it. Is it bad that we've gotten to a point in the world where you see a news story from an accredited place and your first thought is, I have to go to Twitter and dispel this? I couldn't physically believe. You know what? Bring back Lou Holtz. That would have been the one. Bring back Lou.
Right. We don't know. See, Armchair Commentary in the YouTube comments is saying that Tom understands the game but can't tell you about it. Tony can tell you about it but couldn't do it as well on the field.
And that's the
Maybe
thing.
So,
this is just
we
like
don't know
coaches.
That.
Yeah. Okay. Name me the coach or commentator that's ever been a great on the field that wound up being good at anything like this. I'll give you a hint. There's not one.
There's not one.
Mike Ditka is probably the closest you'll come.
Yeah, see, I didn't like him all that much in the booth.
I was talking about as a coach.
Oh.
Coach or commentator. This is where physical ability means nothing. Your ability to grind means nothing.
Not necessarily.
No, it means nothing.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I'm going to say something, and this is going to make me sound a little egotistical, but let's be honest, I am. There are people that could literally prep themselves for 24 hours to do what we do. They'll never be funny. You may like me, hate me, however you feel about me. You're never going to actually be an engaging person. And that's what I've always thought about Tom.
Okay.
I don't feel like he's that kind of person. You can work at this till you're blue in the face. First of all, he's not going to. You are going to get first one out. Let's see. Last one in, first one out, Tom Brady. I promise you.
I would bet my house that that's wrong.
$375 million. You have a supermodel wife, and you've been playing for 22 years. You'll be the last one in and the first one out.
Not a chance.
Oh, well, I'll go ahead and tell you.
He hasn't done
the
one
two we've
single
already
thing in
mentioned.
his life that way. So
you don't know that.
Of course I have.
You know how he's played quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. Have you never seen any of the documentaries on how hard he works? On how much time he devotes to doing his job well
as a quarterback,
and this will be no different.
And see, I don't agree with you.
Oh,
I don't agree. Name one person that's ever retired and then their garden becomes their life. That's not how this works. You've been doing this for 23 years.
John Gruden.
I don't agree with you. John Gruden was just naturally good.
Oh,
and they put him in great positions.
And you don't think that he put any time into his craft trying to learn how to do it?
I didn't say any time.
Okay.
I'm talking about the grinder that Tom Brady is that everybody wants to talk about. You're not getting that as a commentator. You're just not.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense. The man's 46 years old and you just gave him $500 million.
Oh,
we have another super chat from Snowman in the Morning, one of our brother shows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how to say that, but another great show that does what we do. That just said, "Why, Fox? Just why?" And that's how I feel. Why? Why do we have to keep just rehashing him? Every time the plant almost dies, somebody feels the urge to prune it and bring it back to life.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost out of our lives. We were this close.
Right. It was never going to happen. You can hang that up. After Peyton Manning has been in our view in television since he broke up,
that's
or
another
since he
part of
retired.
This.
Of course,
that's another part of this. Mm-hmm. After the break, I want to talk about why I think Peyton Manning actually has completely ruined the ability for Tom Brady to be good at this.
All right, you are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, this is beautiful Chamber of Commerce kind of stuff across western North Carolina this week. We're talking cool nights, warm afternoons, the best of both worlds, 47 degrees. Our comfortable low tonight with that lower humidity feeling fantastic for cool nighttime lows and warm afternoons. Sunshine Wednesday, 80 degrees. We're in the mid-70s on Thursday. And then the chance for some rain showers showing up Friday and Saturday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Maytag. May is Maytag month. So put the hardest working month of the year to work for you and bring home big savings on the Maytag kitchen and laundry appliances you want now through June 1st. Because May is Maytag month.
Deep in the remote jungles of Colombia, a new species has been spotted. Humans. These humans are using animal mating techniques in their search for true love and are forbidden to speak to one another.
Not talking sucks. You either have your mate here or you don't.
Someone's got to go home.
This is it, the jungle or die.
Dating's never been this wild. Love in the Jungle on Discovery Plus. Start your free trial. Terms apply.
I'm Katie Dean. I'm a Democrat running for Congress, and I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, May 17th. I'm a Class 5 kayaker, mountain biker, environmental engineer, and I run an auto repair shop with my husband. I've spent the best moments of my life in Western North Carolina. We have to protect our public lands, but politicians aren't listening and don't understand. Send someone to Congress who has the grit to protect what makes Western North Carolina so special. I'm Katie Dean. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Katie Dean for Congress.
I'm Michelle V. Woodhouse for Congress, and I authorized this message.
Madison Cawthorn has self-destructed and cannot win the race for Congress. That's why true mountain conservatives are now moving to support America First conservative Michelle Woodhouse. Conservatives understand that Michelle Woodhouse is our only chance to keep our congressional seat in conservative hands. A vote for Madison Cawthorn is a wasted vote that could allow an establishment politician like Chuck Edwards to win our seat. That's why it's so important that conservatives unite behind Michelle Woodhouse now. Michelle Woodhouse will fight against Joe Biden's socialist agenda, and Michelle Woodhouse is the only candidate who can win in November. This race is coming down to two people, conservative Michelle Woodhouse versus Chuck Edwards, who is the establishment candidate. In other words, Chuck Edwards is just like Richard Burr and Adam Kinzinger. Conservatives, the choice is clear. Michelle Woodhouse for Congress. Paid for by Michelle V. Woodhouse for Congress.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy,